a lot of times people find themselves prolonging the inevitable, prolonging, like, I know I need to talk to that person, but I don't want to. I don't want to have that hard conversation, but that person's really talented or whatever it may be. And so when it comes to conflict, I always just say quick, fast, and in a hurry. Quick, fast, and in a hurry, because you want to cut that thing off as soon as you see it before it grows, because it will grow into a plant, into a weed, into something, and it'll take root.
Welcome to the Worship Probs podcast, where we aim to entertain, encourage, and equip worship and tech leaders all around the world. Look, we all know that serving in worship and production is great, but the problems, those are real. Thanks for joining us as we dive into today's episode with our host, Brian Tabor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 393 of the Worship Probs podcast. We're so glad you're back, whether you're listening or watching on YouTube, wherever it is. And I got something special for you today, man. She's back. She's ready to rock. Alex Gomez is with me today. Alex, welcome back.
I'm so excited to be back. You know, I think after the last time I thought, there's no way I could be back with all that antique talk. But somehow God is good and gracious, and he's a God of second chances. And I'm just so honored that you guys have me back.
Oh my gosh.
And we could talk about all things worship and stuff.
Absolutely.
And because I was looking back through the last chat that we had, and I was like, dear God, I think I talked more about other things than worship. But today, we are going to make sure that we have a good balance.
Oh man, it was so funny and so good. You bring, I was telling you before we hit record, you bring this amazing depth and this incredible humor. And I'm just honored that you said yes. And we're going to have a lot of fun. This is going to be a really good episode, but I think also an important and timely episode. And so you guys grab a snack, maybe a snacktivity. I don't know how crazy you want to get, something good to drink, and settle in. We got prayer concerns for you. You're going to love those. But first, we're going to have a conversation about dealing with conflict on your team. Now, this is totally theoretical for me because I've never really had to face any. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
That's really great.
I'm totally kidding. Yeah. So dealing with conflict. You got conflict on your team. We're going to talk all about that today, and I know Alex has some wisdom to drop, and it's going to be great. So thanks for hanging out. Okay, before we dive in, I got to give some love to our amazing partners. They help make the podcast. They keep the lights on and help us make the podcast possible. And I hope you'll click the link in our bio and check them out. Probably most of you are familiar with Planning Center and the unbelievable gift of God that is in our lives and ministry.
Yes.
But also AE Global is an audio, video, lighting, design and installation company. And they're serving churches all over the country. And so I hope you'll click the link in our bio and check out our amazing partners, Planning Center and AE Global. This episode of the Worship Probs podcast is brought to you by Planning Center, an all-in-one software that can help you organize every facet of your ministry, connect with your people, and help your people stay connected to each other. Among the many ways Planning Center can help you do that is through task management. In Planning Center, you can create detailed tasks, organize to-do lists, and even collaborate on those tasks with other team members in real time. Do you have recurring events and projects with long to-do lists? Make a task list template to save time. Have regular tasks you need help keeping up with? Set your tasks to automatically repeat at an interval of your choosing. And the best part is that you can create tasks from absolutely anywhere in Planning Center using the toolbar. You'll find your Tasks tab in Planning Center Home, the place you see all the important updates happening across your account. To learn more and get started today, visit planningcenter.com or click the link in our bio. Prayer Concerns is brought to you by our friends at AE Global. Worship and production ministry is hard. Every week you're preparing, troubleshooting, and dreaming about what could be next. And most days, it can feel like you're doing it all alone. But what if you had a trusted partner who understood the pressure and chaos and walked with you through it? For more than 30 years, AE Global has been building relationships with churches just like yours, helping with everything from audio, video and lighting to system design and even installation. But they're more than an integrator, and they're about more than just selling gear. AE Global is a team that comes alongside you and a partner for the long haul, someone to brainstorm, troubleshoot, and dream with. They don't just care about your equipment, but the people behind it. Because great ministry happens when you don't have to carry it all by yourself. If you're ready for a partner who understands church production and wants to help you move forward with confidence, visit the link in our bio and reach out to AE Global today. Don't do ministry alone. Navigate it together with AE Global.
Without Planning Center, where would we be, honestly?
Oh my gosh, Planning Center, right? Like I try to tell young folks all the time, like if you weren't in ministry before Planning Center,
It was like Excel sheets.
yes, for days,
It
for
was Excel.
days. And it would take weeks to schedule
Yes.
a month of Sundays, man.
I
And
remember my mom, she was the worship leader. She was my worship leader. And it was Excel sheets and document. Like if you said yes 2 months prior, you better not ever say no.
never say
Because
no.
then the whole thing is out of whack. Like you can't, no, you said yes.
Yes, exactly.
It's in the
Exactly.
Excel sheet.
It is written.
It is written. It is law. It's done. Yeah. You broke your leg. You better put a cast on and be there.
Well, Alex, you're such a gift, and you're leading in so many incredible ways. And this is a really timely conversation, dealing with conflict on teams. What do you think, man? Have you ever had to deal with anything
All the
rough?
time. All the time. I think what gets people out of ministry and saying like, I don't think I'm meant to be a worship leader is more people than it is worship.
100%.
It's not necessarily like, oh, I don't like singing anymore or I don't like worshiping the Lord. It's like, I don't like these people anymore.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
worship leading is easy if that was what you were created to do and you have that passion, you have that talent.
Mm.
But the leadership part is what will make you quit. It is what will make you quit because your leadership has to catch up to the talent and the gift. So you might be like, oh, but I'm so good at harmonizing, but I'm so good at this. But your leadership hasn't caught up to where you are talent-wise. And so a lot of times people find themselves prolonging the inevitable, like, I know I need to talk to that person, but I don't want to. I don't want to have that hard conversation, but that person's really talented or whatever it may be. And so when it comes to conflict, I always just say quick, fast, and in a hurry. Quick, fast, and in a hurry, because you want to cut that thing off as soon as you see it before it grows, because it will grow into a plant, into a weed, into something, and it'll take root. And so I think a lot of times us as worship leaders, we get caught up because we're so excited to have this new team member or to have this bass player that we've been praying for or the soprano that we've been praying for. Like, oh my God, we've been needing a drummer. So we have this person at our church. They want to play drums, but we don't take them necessarily through a process. We don't tell them what our manual is, what our rules are, what our expectations are. So then when we get to the point where they're already on the team and they're doing all these things that are below the standard of the worship team, then we find ourselves in a predicament because we were so excited to get them on the platform that we skipped out on letting them know what are the standards to be on this worship team? What are the expectations that everyone has to uphold? So now we find ourselves like, oh, I didn't write anything down. I didn't have them sign a commitment form or however your process is. And then now you have to have this hard conversation with somebody And a lot of times I feel like it has to do with us doing something on the front end.
Yeah.
Like if we just did something on the front end that said, hey, this is what our dress code is. Hey, this is what the expectation is for when you are like arriving on time. You know, like we used to have a rule, like if you're 30 minutes late, you just go ahead and turn right back around because you're not serving this Sunday.
Yeah. Yep.
Because that for me was like 30 minutes. Like it's something if someone's like, hey, I'm 5 minutes late. Hey, sorry, I got a flat. Hey, sorry.
Yep.
There's those things, right? But then there's patterns.
Yep.
And so you have to have certain things in place in order to keep the worship team functioning and growing and leading in the right direction. And so dealing with conflict, I feel like can be lessened if you deal with it on the front end. It's a lot easier to tell someone all these rules and expectations when nothing has been done.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so much harder to tell them after the fact.
Yes.
You know, so they've done something or they've posted something or they've said something that's inappropriate in the green room. And then you're like, or they're like, well, I didn't know. You never said, right? And that's the truth. Yeah. That's the truth. We've never said, or we didn't write it down, or we didn't say, hey, this is the expectation. So that's what makes it hard for us. It was so much easier for me when I could say, hey, remember this form that you filled out? Remember this one? Number 6? Remember number 7? Right? It's so much easier to do that because then they could say, yeah, you're right. I did read that. I did know that. And I did know that that was expectation. And I messed up, right? So it's an easier thing to do than when we just get so excited to have someone on the team, we rush them to the altar and then we realize like, I don't even know what this person believes in.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Absolutely.
I don't even know if they know what the Holy Spirit is or what, you know, that we believe in healings or miracles or whatever it may be, right? There's a plethora of issues that we deal with on a worship team. But I think my leadership style was very much, let's just talk about it right now. As soon as I saw something after rehearsal, can I see you? Can we talk for just really quick? Because I don't want it growing in my mind and I don't want it growing on the team.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Sometimes it's not even like conflict. Sometimes it's even something that you're like, I don't want that. I just don't want that a part of our culture. Yeah. I just don't want that a part, right? So like one time, I would notice that our team is very multi-generational and I would notice that the younger kids, whenever they were in the green room, would be on their phones. And then the people who are a little bit more seasoned are not. And they're talking and they're conversing, whatever. And so I remember one Sunday just pulling some of the younger kids out into the hallway. Just like, hey, really quick, you're not in trouble. But this is what I want for the green room and how we interact. There's a reason why you're scheduled on the same day as everyone else. I believe that every moment is a moment to interact, to grow. I'm like, this person is, you know, has so much wisdom on this person, but you're not tapping into that because you're on your phone. So when we're in the back, if you cannot be on your phone, if you want to be on your phone, then you can, you know, be out of the green room or whatever. But just saying like, you may not see it, but you're ignoring what could be a great conversation or what could be a great relationship. And so I want to make sure that you take advantage of that. And I want to make sure that we're all connecting and we're all talking in the back in the green room. It wasn't no one was in trouble. I wasn't mad, but you could foresee something, right? Like this can be, this can go somewhere where there's like a gap. Where there's a click over here with people who are the same age, a click over here with people who are the same age. And before that even happens, let me just tell them my expectation, tell them what it is that I want.
Yeah.
So quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Man, that's so good. That's so good. And I think sometimes we neglect just how important unity is. You know, and some of what you're talking about, man, that's so good. And I love the quick. I mean, look, early in my ministry, I was very guilty of not being quick, and things would start to grow. And I'd come home to Kim, and I'd be like, man, why are they doing this or why are they doing that? And she's like, Brian, not everybody thinks like you. Not everybody interacts like you. You can't hold them to your responsibility, your standard if you haven't communicated that. And she's like, have you talked to them? And I'm like, why does everything come down to me having to have a conversation with people? You know what I mean? And so I was like, well, shocker, I didn't lay out, expectations. And that, I do think that is so important, on the front end, like giving them, like, here's a bullseye. Like, this is what it looks like to be on the team. And I can remember when in my last church, we just developed these booklets, like a PDF. Like somebody expresses interest, they'd send me an email, and I'd be like, "Hey, thanks for your email so much. I'm going to send you something that tells you what it looks like to be on the team. What are the expectations? What are the kind of the core values of our team? I want you to read through that and pray over it, and I want to hear from you in like 2 weeks if you think that is a good fit for you, and if it is, let's continue down the process." But man, I think that's something we neglect. That issue of unity. It's, first of all, it's a spiritual. It's spiritually crucial as we're leading in worship that we're unified, man.
Something that I would say in the interview process when people are coming on the team is I would say to them in person and on purpose. I said, if you're coming on this team, that means you are under my leadership, which means I have the ability. I would always say I'm going to encourage you and I'm going to correct you. But I'm always going to encourage you in public, and I'm always going to correct you in private.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you can't take one without the other. You can't say, well, I just want the encouragement.
Sign me up for just encouragement, please.
I'll take 2 encouragements and zero criticisms,
exactly,
right?
Exactly, yeah. 0
correction. And so I would tell them, like, waiting for their answer. Yeah, okay, I understand. Great. So that whenever we have a conversation, you understand that this is coming from only from love for this team, love for this altar, but also a duty that we have to the altar.
Yeah.
We have a duty to the altar to protect the altar and what we are doing with what we're saying, right? So I have the ability to correct and to encourage, but I'm never going to embarrass you. I'm never going to correct in front of everyone. Now, I used to do that when I was a youth worship leader. And I would be like, you did not practice. Let me hear. Stand up. Sing it.
I love it.
Let me see it. Right? Because I was just so frustrated with how much effort I was putting into something, but you're not putting in that same effort, right? Yeah. But people got lives, people got jobs. Like, I can't expect everyone to be full-time on this, like how I'm full-time, right? So when I was younger, it came from a place of like, not a great place, maybe embarrassed or like, anger. But as I got older, I realized like I have to have the ability to go up to you and you not feel offended, right? But that also goes along with relationship. If you feel like you can't go up to a team member on your team, I can't talk to them, it's going to get bad, it's going to get awkward. Well, is there a relationship there? Right? We have to first make sure that you know this person and you've poured into this person and they know your heart, and your heart is not to condemn. But your heart is to figure out how can we change the situation. Your heart is to come at it in love. But I think we just can't ignore it. That's the thing that really gets me is when we're like, well, how do I do it? Sometimes you just got to do it. You just got to pray. Holy Spirit, please cloak my words. Please make me sound, full of grace. But I got to get this done. I remember one time I found out something about a team member. And they were at a retreat, our church's retreat. And I did not wait for them to come back to the retreat. I drove an hour to the retreat. After service was done, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Because I'm like, I have to understand what's going on. I have to get this out. I have to let you know that this is important to me. And also you're important to me. You know, like, how are you doing? I've heard this big thing, right? So what are we going to do? How can I come alongside of you? It's like, I never want the devil to have an inch into thinking like, Because what ends up happening, and I'm telling you straight up, what ends up happening is someone on the worship team finds out that you know what that person is doing. And they're saying, well, my leader's okay. My worship leader is okay with them living that life, or my worship leader is okay with them cursing in the back, or with them, whatever it may be, smoking right before they go out and play. My worship leader knows that they're doing that, and they're still letting them play, or they're still letting them sing, and they haven't said anything. So if they're doing that, then I should be able to do this, right? Like I'm okay to do that. Then that starts running through the team. And before you know it, it's like everyone's giving everyone a pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just like, wait, I was just kind of waiting a couple months to pray about it. I was waiting a couple weeks to find the right words. And at the end of the day, it's always going to be hard. It's always going to be awkward. It's always going to be difficult, but you're going to feel so much better when it's done. Like you're going to feel so much better when you've had that hard conversation, and you're going to be like, okay, I had to do what I had to do, because if you're leading this team, you gotta lead it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no neutral. You can't take a day and not, because what you tolerate teaches every bit as much as what you celebrate. I mean, you're always teaching.
You got
to
say that again. You got to say that again. I'm gonna write that down.
What you tolerate teaches every bit as much as what you celebrate. And I can remember at my last church, I am sort of I'm a time Nazi, right? My wife would tell you, I hate to be late. I hate to be in our house. We have a thing called Tabor time. If we're supposed to be there at 6, if we're not there at 10 till 6, we're late. Okay. And so when I went to my last church, there was really no structure. It was a little bit chaotic, and they hadn't had a music person for a year. And so understandably, everybody was doing whatever they wanted. And service rehearsal was supposed to start at 6 on Wednesday night. And people are rolling in at 6:15, 6:20. And I was like, no. And so I told them all, I was like, here's the deal. If rehearsal starts at 6, that means we play the first note at 6. Like if you got to hook in your instrument to an amp or whatever, you got to get here before that. If you need to get your in-ears in and all that stuff, you get before that, because we're starting at 6. And I can remember one of our team members, who is a dear, dear friend, she was singing some kind of special song for this service, and she was late to rehearsal, and we had already done her song with the band. And she was like, hey, can we hit my song? I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, we already did. And so you won't get a chance to run that.
Right.
And she talks to me about this all the time. She was never late again. She was, and so I was just like, I hate to be like the structure Nazi, but like it's respect for the church, for the Lord, it's respect for your fellow team, members and all that. And so that's what you tolerate teaches just every bit as much as what you celebrate. And like, have you, like maybe another aspect of conflict, like have you ever had team members having conflict with each other?
Oh yeah, I've had team members conflict with me. And I didn't even know. I remember when I first took over, for my mom. My mom was the worship leader for 30 years. When I first took over, it was like, one or two people were like, well, I've had an issue with you, and now that you're leading, I just thought I'd let you know. And I'm like, what? We've been singing alongside of each other for years. Right. Yeah. And I had no idea. But now that I'm put in this leadership position, and they're, now I'm leading the team, they just wanted to tell me, which I appreciated. Like, I was so thankful. And some of the things that they told me, like, oh, one time you did this, and it was nothing that I had done intentionally to them, but it made them feel a certain type of way, right? Like, so for instance, one time they were songwriting, and I had come into the songwriting, and then I was like, oh, and I kind of changed the direction or changed the idea, whatever it was, but it wasn't a very like type way.
Mm-hmm.
And when they said that, I was like, I did do that.
Wow.
I didn't even realize I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, it was years prior, but I was still like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, in the way that you say it, what you're saying is absolutely the truth. That is absolutely what I did. And I did not even recognize that I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I appreciate that that person told me, like, as I was going into this season and things were transitioning, and I was like, oh, I have to be careful of that. I have to be careful of how I come across or how I can take over a situation or a conversation. And now me and her are great. But yeah, I've had that where it's like with me, where people feel like my words will carry weight, because if you're the leader and you say something, or if you joke a certain way, they can take it even more offensive. Whereas if someone else did it, it's like doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah, right.
But especially with people on a team together, that we're getting in a room and we're figuring this out.
Yeah.
We're figuring this out, and we're praying over each other, and because we're not going to go up on the altar in unity to the Lord, to his grace room, and we have an issue and we don't want to be scheduled with each other. Well, schedule me on the day that they're not singing.
Yeah,
Schedule me
right.
on the day that they're not playing. No. Come on, people.
Yeah.
We can't. Whether you like it or not, you are leading people into worship. Whether you consider yourself a worship leader, you are leading people into worship, and you cannot have a heart of bitterness towards the person you're singing right next to.
Yeah. Yeah. Amen. Amen. Really, that thing you lined out about quickly, that applies to this just as much. You know, you
Right.
gotta nip that, man, because we really have to fight for unity. And you know, it's a creative endeavor, right? We all, and that is very personal. It's we're going to bump into each other, you know, from time to time. But you know, as you talked about earlier, you've got to really fight and protect the culture of your team. I mean, you want people to be expressive. You want people to be all in. But you've also got to fight for unity, man. It's so challenging. You guys, this is not for the faint of heart. Like I always tell young folks, like, I want to be a worship leader. And I was like, well, did God call you to do that? Because if he didn't, you need to run in the opposite direction because you don't want to be where he has not called you to be. Because there's going to be a lot of tough times where that's what you have to fall back and rest in. Okay, I've got to do this hard thing. But I can rest in the fact that I know God called me. I know he is going to, what I think you said earlier, cloak my words, which is what a beautiful picture. Yeah. You know, Lord, cloak my words, give me the words to say, you know, help my attitude to be pure as I have these conversations. Man, it's just so important. And there's no mark in time, guys. That's I guess it's kind of a good news, bad news for you as the leader. You can't take, there's no off time, man. You got to always be mindful. You got to always be looking. You got to always be listening.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to lose a team member. I think that's why we prolong. Yep. You never know what that, and it sounds horrible, but you never know what that can unlock for your team.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And like that void or that vacancy can leave room for someone else who's going to come in your team and really just bring you guys together. And I just don't feel like anyone on your team is the Whitney Houston. Like we can't lose them. I can't say anything. You don't understand, you know, like even if they are the pastor's kid or whatever it may be, right? Where you feel like I can't even touch that. And it's like, no one is above correction.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, one of my teams, I had a situation where you talked about a little bit earlier, like so we had some high school students and some adults serving together. And it was in a different venue that I was not in this particular week. And after Sunday, you know, I roll into the office and I get an email from a parent that said, hey, I hate to put something else on your plate, but please don't schedule my child with those adults anymore. And I said, tell me about that. What happened? And they're like, the attitude and the conversations were so toxic about the church, about the team, about you,
Mm,
you as a leader. And so, man, I had to have,
that's
I had
tough.
to have some really, really hard conversations. And
Mm,
I've talked about these on the podcast before. One of them went really well.
yeah.
The person came, apologized, and was just a model team member. The other person was not probably in a space to take correction very well. And I just had to say to them, here's what happened after that weekend. I had parents emailing me asking me not to schedule their children with you.
Mm,
And if I was you, that would really bother me.
yeah.
Like, you can be mad at me all you want, but I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you are the person who, your actions and words caused this parent to email me. And so, you know, we had to just agree to, and fortunately, I served with the senior pastor who said to me, I made him aware of all this, which I think is another discipline as
Mm-hmm.
a part of all this. You know, just make sure your senior pastor is aware,
Yep.
because as conversations happen, it's always good for them to not be surprised. And so I said to I told my senior pastor what was going on. I told him how I handled it, and he goes, "I got your back. You tell them they can sing when you ask them to sing, or they don't have to sing at all.
Mm-hmm.
They can worship from the congregation." And I was like, I've never had a senior pastor tell me that before. So I was
Right.
very grateful for that. So yeah, man, it's tough. It being a leader, man, it comes with all kinds of responsibilities, and yeah, got to be ready. Got to be ready to
Yeah,
deal with conflict.
just tell yourself you're gonna go for ice cream after,
That's
and
right.
like
That's
just
right.
treat yourself because it's
A-
tough.
It is. It is
Mhm.
tough, and you know, it's yeah, it's just tough. It is just tough.
Yes,
Well, that was a great conversation, man. Um,
I love those conversations. I love um, the off the altar conversations,
yeah,
right? Because on
yeah,
the altar, like how do we get our harmonies right? How do we blah blah
yeah,
blah? How do we if you're unified as a team, this stuff is gonna go like
yeah, yeah,
it's gonna go so much faster, right? So off the altar
absolutely.
stuff, like the conflict and the encouragement and the correction and all
Yeah,
that stuff and the unity is going to make your on the altar stuff flow a little bit more, right? You guys are going to
absolutely.
trust each other and how do
Yes.
we flow? But you guys trust each other off the altar,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that'll come quickly. So I
absolutely. Well,
love those conversations.
and as you build your culture, if you build it the right way on the front end, your your team members will start to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a strong word. It's the best word I can think of. They will help you to sort of police
Yeah,
these issues. If they see
absolutely.
something, they'll either tell you, or if they see something, they might step in and try to help themselves, which, hey man, more
That's the best
more
thing.
power to you. More power
That's
to
the
you.
best thing. Yes, when everyone is of same mind, right? Everyone has
Yes,
the same mind. It's like
absolutely.
don't be coming up in here and messing up what we got going on. We built a firm foundation, okay?
Absolutely.
And so do not
Absolutely.
mess up this culture. I love that. Brian, do you know what time it is?
I think I know. It's time for prayer concerns. So, guys, you know them, you love them. We've been doing this since 2018, and I
That's
can't believe people are
crazy.
still sending these in to us, but I'm so grateful that you are. And so you get a sideways comment from a member of the congregation or a team member, or what. Maybe it's about your clothes, maybe it's about how you sang, or the sound was too loud, or you didn't do the song I liked, whatever it was. People send these in from all over, and you'll always be anonymous, but you can send these in to us, and we want to hear from you. We're not laughing at you, we're just laughing with you, because ministry is challenging, man, and life is so serious. We just need a break, a little bit of
Right.
laughter. So go to the website, worshipleaderprobs.com. Just click on prayer concerns up in the menu and submit yours there, or you can DM these to us on any of the socials. So I've got the OGs today, just the sideways comments from people at church. So let's dive right in. Prayer concern number 1. I worked at an Assembly of God church, and one day I was checking our Google reviews because we had gotten a 1-star review. The comment, not Jewish enough.
No, is that real?
Not Jewish enough. Yeah, that's real. That's absolutely. I mean, I guess I didn't.
I mean, did they check the title of the church?
Yeah, like what did they expect? I don't.
Not Jewish enough.
Not Jewish enough. Like Jehovah Jireh, trees of the field. Maybe they expected a little.
Right. So it had a little, but it just wasn't
but not enough. Yeah, not enough.
I would really like to know, like, what would take it over the top for them.
Yeah,
Like, what would be?
What were
like,
they looking for? What were they looking for?
What was the enough? And also, like, that's so interesting. I always think that people that post on the Google reviews, they're just always so out there. It's never concerning like what the product is. Like Amazon reviews sometimes, like it's never concerning the product.
Right.
And this one is just out of left field, not Jewish enough. I don't know what the church would do to get it over the top where someone walking in would be like, this is the right amount of Jewish.
Yeah. This is
my sweet spot.
This is the sweet spot for Jewishness. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh no. I would toss that out, but
it's pretty rough. Okay. Number 2, prayer concern number 2. I was running sound and someone slipped me a note that said, please keep both hands on the soundboard when in songs of praise. I was worshiping. They didn't like the sound guy worshiping. Please keep both those hands on the board.
They're acting like he's operating a jet. Like they're in, please keep both hands on the airplane so we don't crash. What does he think that his hands on the faders is going to do?
Yeah. I mean, they have a lot of power, a lot of control, but I mean, maybe not that much. It's,
like, do not scratch your nose, wipe your eye. Don't just, but it's during the praise song. So it's not necessarily during like the slow songs.
Yeah, exactly. But during those fast ones, you better lock it down, man.
Yeah. You need like tape the sound person's.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I totally thought the note was going to be about like the decibels or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
I know every church has gotten that, right?
Always, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, no, don't lift your hand.
Don't lift your hands. Don't lift your hands.
This is, it's serious.
All right. Number 3, prayer concern number 3. I had an older church member tell me that they thought the songs were too fast. And they asked me, I was in the tech booth, they asked me to slow down the music. And I mean, like, it's live music being played, but they didn't understand why I just couldn't hit a button and slow it down. That's
if you could slow-mo this song, like it's a video.
What are you thinking, man?
It's a video. Wait, but was it? So it's live music. This is not like a YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's live music. Live music. Slow it down. I'd like it to be a little slower.
Just slow it down. Just halftime this thing. What if they did? What if they went to the guy and was like, can you just put this thing like
you're on stage and you're like, oh man, are we walking through quicksand or what's happening here?
I love people. I really do. But the amount of people that think that this is like karaoke or like this is like
right.
their preferences.
Right.
They feel like this is a preference playlist type thing. And it's like, you can have your own Spotify playlist. You can have your own thing in your car, at your house.
Yeah.
But the amount of people that are like, I don't like this song. Play another song.
I don't like this. Yeah, play it. Start it over.
It's like, when we get to heaven, you think we're going to be playing the songs you like?
That's right.
No.
That's right.
We're probably going to play what Moses likes. We're probably going to play what Noah or Abraham. Like, you're last. We are last.
Yeah.
In the line of like, what's going to be played today.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think people just need to like, let's just start being uncomfortable. Let's start realizing it's not about our preferences.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because in heaven, I'm telling you what.
Check yourself, man.
King David is going to be whatever he wants.
That's right. Exactly.
And you might not like the tempo. It might be too fast. Okay? Because he said, I will get even more undignified than this. So you might not like that tempo.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, number 4, prayer concern number 4. We got a comment on our live stream that just said, I'm praying they bring back the last worship pastor.
Dear God. Dear God. Is this the worship pastor saying that they saw it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's hurtful, man.
Yeah, I would.
Like if that happened to you, you would have a really rough Sunday dinner with your mom, and you'd be like, yeah, they want you back. They want you back.
Oh my God. I'm sure a lot of people thought that. No one put it no one wrote it as a comment. I'm telling you, these people online, they just get so brave. No one will ever say that to your face. No one is ever going to go up to you. I mean,
they probably posted anonymously.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Maybe he thought he was going to start some sort of like revolt, or he was going to start a conversation or something.
Yeah.
But what in the world? Who says that?
Who says that? Who says that? Right?
Oh man. I feel like commenting for that person.
I do too. I would like to find that live stream.
Yes.
Oh. Okay,
let's put you up.
Here's the last one. Bottom of the pudding cup, prayer concern number 5. A congregant that we lovingly refer to as Maraca Steve, who brings his own percussion instruments into church. And he plays from the congregation. He approached our drummer one Sunday and he said, I could really tell you were relying on me to keep time today.
Dear Lord.
Maraca Steve.
Maraca Steve. Dear God. The way that these people feel like they are needed and necessary to uphold the temple.
Yeah.
As if they're at rehearsal and know every BPM of every song.
Right.
Oh my God.
Have you ever had somebody bring an instrument and play it from the seats?
Yeah. Well, when I was younger, it was a Spanish Pentecostal church. I mean, it was still Spanish and Pentecostal, but it was a small church. And I remember my grandfather had to take away the tambourines. He banned it. He banned it. There was a room full of tambourines because it became like a war, right? Like people all had like, there's a tambourine and then there was like the cool tambourines that have like designs and stuff. And people are just...
Yeah.
And you hear more of that. If you have a good in a small church, you could have 3 people with that and that'll drown out everything that you're doing.
Absolutely.
So everyone got into tambourines and it was just like, you know what? At this point, we're making noise. We're not singing unto the Lord. Well, this is coming out of like competition, like who has the best, whatever you would call that. And people want to be a part, but they don't want to go to rehearsal.
Right.
How you want to be a part of the worship team? You don't want to come to rehearsal.
And there's a conflict to manage, another conflict to manage right there.
Oh my gosh. Especially when you're doing like a live recording, you're like, please, no shafars. Please, no tambourines. Yeah. Because people get real spiritual when they know it's a live recording and they show up with all kinds of stuff.
Yes. Oh, gosh,
and then
I can't imagine.
Yeah,
and then they want to play it back when it comes out and they'll be like, hear that? That was me.
That was me.
That was me. I made it. On the recording.
I've told people, go tap that person, tell them to put that down. Go tap that. Go. Because, man, and it's always the people that they're just like right in front or they're off time. It's never someone who's like touring.
Just killing it. Yeah, out there, right? Exactly.
They're not touring with a salsa band and they have great timing and they're really adding to this. It's always someone who like just off the charts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Well, fam, those are prayer concerns. So send yours in to us. You might hear it on a future episode of the podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Catching up. We've got Experience Conference 2026 is coming in September. It's at Walt Disney World at the Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. You got to come. Meet us there. There's a link in our bio to register, and there's a discount code, PROBS26. It'll save you some money. So come, bring your teams with you. Man, you've got Passion Music, Red Rocks, Patrick Mayberry, Alexander Pappas, like all these
That's
incredible artists there, amazing speakers. There's 100 workshops for every person on your team. So join us at Experience Conference. Worship Karaoke, our car show, season 5 is rolling. We got to get Alex in the car someday.
That's so fun.
I gotta come to Chicago and get you in the car. And then Pop-Up Probs, our next event is in Charlotte, North Carolina on July the 10th, Friday, July the 10th. It's at the headquarters of our partner, AE Global. The whole day is free. Starts at 9 a.m. They're providing lunch for you. I'll be there. Kim will be there. We'll be doing some teaching on team building and culture and all those things. And our friend Wade Joy, longtime creative pastor at Elevation, will be there as well. We'll record a live podcast. And you want to do that. So there's a link in our bio. If you're anywhere close to Charlotte, join us Friday, July the 10th for Pop-Up Probs Charlotte. And Alex, what do you got going on, man? You got all kinds of stuff happening.
Yes. Kids on Mission is just like a kids series. So it's Kids, KIDZ, on Mission. And you can go to kidsonmission.com. And it's great for the summer, right? You don't know what your kids are going to do or you want them watching. It has curriculum. It has dance tutorials. It has activities that they can do. So we're coming up with 4 new episodes, hopefully by the end of this month. But we already have 4 episodes on there. So Kids on Mission, great for kids' church, summer camp, homeschool, whatever. They're going to love it. It's super fun. And the songs are good. Me and my husband made the songs. So I hope you'll love them. And then we also have our Free Worship YouTube channel where we're constantly putting up songs and things on our channel. So we'd love for you to go ahead and subscribe to that. And then in 2 weeks, I'll be at Dwell Conference with David and Nicole Binion.
Oh, love it. Love it.
June 17th through the 19th. So if you find yourself in Texas or somewhere around there, I went last year and I was like, amazing. Yeah. Amazing. So they asked me to come back and to teach. And I'm just so honored and also just trembling, fear and trembling. Yeah. But I'm very excited for that.
Man, that's going to be incredible. They're amazing and you're amazing. So that's going to be a great event. I got to get down to that.
You would love it. You would love it.
I need to get down there. Well, guys, we always love hanging with you, man. So thanks for listening and watching. This is episode 393. Hard to believe.
That's amazing. And before you go, make sure you subscribe, whatever you listen to podcasts, so you never miss an episode. And we would love for you to take a quick minute to head over to the Apple Podcast and leave us 5-star ratings. Okay. Right. Not like that one prayer concern where it's a 1-star. We are Jewish enough. We are Jewish enough. Give us our 5 stars. Okay.
That's right.
It generally helps more worship and production leaders find this podcast. Okay. So we can be on the struggle bus together. Why do we got to be in a struggle car alone? We can be on the struggle bus together.
Absolutely.
So we're super grateful for it. And thanks for following us on social media at Worship Probs on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Threads at Worship Leader Problems on TikTok, and join the Worship Leader Probs community group on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or just look at hashtag Worship Leader Probs.
Yeah, absolutely. We love engaging with you on all those platforms. And just a huge shout out to our girl, Allie Bajanos from Allie Be Creative. She edits our podcast, all the graphics. Amazing. She does such a killer job. And she coaches communications teams and social media teams and photographers and all that stuff at churches around the country. If you need help for that, we'll tag her up. If you need a logo, website, whatever it is, she's your girl. And 10 out of 10 recommend her. Well, guys, and thanks to my friend Scott Hoke for our voiceover intro. We're super grateful for him. Thank you so much for listening to episode 393. Until next time, deuces.
Adios.